Welcome back to the morning news. Now there's an ice sport growing in popularity in Canada, Ringette. And this weekend, people in our region can see some of the best players in the country compete at the Eastern Canadian Ringette Championships. Now more than 400 athletes will tangle in some 60 games from Thursday to Sunday at the BMO Centre. In the opinions of fans and organizers around here, this is some of the best Ringette you can get. And joining us now is Lindsay Bennett, the Executive Director of Ringette, Nova Scotia. Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem.
So I guess I understand that Ringette is growing in popularity across the country, but also in Nova Scotia. Tell me about that.
It is. We've seen, slow but steady growth over the last number of years, which, we're happy with. We feel that slow and steady growth is sustainable. So over the past, 4 to 5 years, we've seen about 15% growth in our registration numbers here in the province.
Really?
A lot of that has been in Metro, and we have an association in the Annapolis Valley. And in Ringette, Nova Scotia, our goal is to continue to grow in the regions that we're already in, and also expand our footprint in the province into some areas that we used to be in, and Ringette popularity might have fallen off, some areas like Antigonish or along the South Shore. And then, get back into those areas. So
yeah, when I was a child, we had some friends from out of town, and their 2 daughters. One was named Lindsay, actually. Yeah. They were cool, and they played Ringette, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. And this was like back in the 80s, and I hadn't given it much thought, so I was surprised to see it back in the news. Yeah. Why is it sort of, if anything, is it making a resurgence, or has it always been popular?
I think it's always had a pretty high level of popularity. There's very few years, I think, in the grand, spectrum where Ringette registrations actually fell.
Okay.
And yeah, it's kind of been a slow and steady build. In the 80s, it was actually, known to be, it was the fastest growing sport in all of Canada. But obviously that pace, was pretty fast, and that wasn't maintained. But yeah, no, it continues to grow for sure.
Yeah, and in 2010, you had your best year ever. Why do you think that was?
You know what? It's a fantastic sport. It's a great spectator sport. It develops very tremendous athletes. It's a team sport where girls build confidence, and boys, build confidence, and learn leadership skills and sportsmanship. And I think people are hooked when they try it.
So boys play Ringette. I didn't realize that.
Yes. I think nationally there's about 600 to 1,000. Here in our province, we probably have about just under 50.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they do play, and Ringette teaches great skating skills and things that are transferable to other sports and other parts of life. So why not?
So this weekend is a pretty big deal, I understand. Tell us about what's going to happen at the BMO Centre in Bedford.
It is. We are hosting the 2013 Eastern Canadian Ringette Championships, which is a 60-game event, as you mentioned. There are 4 divisions of play. We have under 14s, under 16s, under 19s, and 18 and over. Some of the best teams coming from Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and PEI. And it's a free event for spectators. They can come out and watch, and yeah, they'll see some great Ringette, some very, very fast Ringette, and it should be very exciting. You're
obviously very passionate about the sport. What would your advice be to people watching right now, either children, boys and girls who are watching, or their parents? You've mentioned a little bit about its popularity, but really, get to the nitty-gritty. Why is it that you're so passionate about the sport? Why should they participate in it?
It's as I said, like many sports, there's a high level of athleticism required, but or that is built up through participation. But also there's a fantastic social element to the sport. The off-ice activities, the team building activities, attending tournaments and growing and developing as a team. And I really think that's what hooks people. And we have a program called Come Try Ringette where, it's a free 1-hour on-ice session that we run through the summer for people to come out and try it, and they don't have to purchase all the equipment. And it's amazing the number of people that actually end up joining after having just that first little taste of Ringette.
Yeah, we only have about 10 seconds left, but I would think, from people I've talked to who play the sport, it's even more team-oriented than hockey. It's more of a, we need to depend on each other to make this happen.
Absolutely. I mean, in Ringette, you have to pass over both blue lines, which forces, playmaking, and really forces athletes to rely on their teammates. So, yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming in today, Lindsay.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
If you want to find out more about the tournament, you can visit their website. It's ecrc2013.ca, but again, it's free, so you can head to the BMO Centre this weekend and see some fast-moving Ringette action. We're going to take a break on the morning news and be back with more of the show. Another look at traffic, so stay with us. We'll see you in 2 minutes' time.